Welcome to this edition of the Reidsville Chamber of Commerce News and Views. I'm your host, Diane Sawyer, President and CEO of the Reidsville Chamber. Today's guest is the new General Manager of the Reidsville Luckies, Justin Dill. Welcome to the show, Justin.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I am so excited to have you. We have been talking now, oh my gosh, it's a couple months. Going on 3, maybe, about some of this stuff?
At least, yeah.
So I'm going to tell a little story about you, if that's okay.
Sure.
So Justin is our new general manager, and if you're not familiar with the Reidsville Luckies, we're going to get all the great stuff about that today. But the really cool thing is Justin and I actually go way back at this point, have worked on several projects. He's been on our board of directors. He has owned several different chamber member businesses, and he is a guy who likes a challenge. And so when the Old North State League, who was the current named member of the chamber, said, "Hey, Diane, we're looking for a general manager." And we were having a conversation. We were talking baseball and talking challenge and talking summer. And I knew that Justin was involved, his current job at the time, that he was going to have the summer off. And I was like, I know a guy. Yep. I know the guy. He's your baseball guy. He's got time and he likes a challenge. And he's a good marketing guy. He's a bit of a guru when it comes to that. So I was like, he's your guy. And in a few short weeks, it was like all done deal, signed, sealed, delivered, and here you are, head to toe, dressed in your Luckies gear.
That's right.
Ready to rock and roll.
Yep, absolutely. So it's been a wild ride. Everything kind of happened really fast, which is good. Thanks to you and the Chamber for actually providing the opportunity, making the connection with Alec Allred, the president of the Old North State League. It's been really good. A lot of information up front, but we're working through it and we're getting there.
So the really exciting thing, I think, is this is the first season that you will have both a coach and a general manager.
Correct.
And I think that they got a great start, had a great guy. Richie did a great job. He is a great coach. You and I both use him personally for our kids.
That's right.
But it's a lot to both coach the guys for the season and do the business aspect. So I think it was a really smart move on the league's part to have both positions and give somebody the opportunity to just coach the kids and then somebody to run the business.
Absolutely. Doing both, like you said, Richie did a great job. Richie's a phenomenal coach. Been knowing Richie since I was 5 years old. He and my dad worked together. So Richie's forgotten more about baseball than I'll ever know. So he's a really great coach. It's a lot on one person. Just from being on my management side of it, I couldn't imagine trying to coach and do this at the same time. So kudos to Richie for what he did. My hat's off to him. He did an absolute lot.
He did. He got us a great start and a great footing in the community. We were able to partner with them. Alec had the foresight. I think they're probably involved in a lot of chambers across the state.
They are.
But, I was able to help Richie through a lot of things. And so I'm thankful that they were able to get somebody on board to be able to help the idea behind and to get started earlier and to be able to just attack some of the things. But you've got some really great community support behind you.
We absolutely have, Diane. Our sponsors, we can't thank them enough. Tri-State Steel, one of our bigger sponsors this year. As you know, Steve has been heavily involved with our baseball program while opening a second location here in Reidsville. And
expanding his commercial location
Absolutely.
At the same time.
So
he's as crazy as the rest of us.
He is. So, Tri-State Steel's on board. We've got a ton of great local businesses on board. CrossFit Lucky City has just come on board. They're our official gym for our players. So when our players come into town, we're sending them right to CrossFit Lucky City to maintain their health, maintain the rehab if they need it, and just their overall fitness. So I'm looking forward to providing a place for these guys to go to work out in a new city. Some of these guys are coming from Georgia, South Carolina. They don't know Reidsville. Reidsville's a spot on the map to them. But we're really looking to show them what we have. Come into town. We've got, great businesses with, like I said, Tri-State Steel. We've got a gym that they can go work out in. Our local eateries, PG's is huge. They're going to be on board with us this year.
Yeah, because for people who don't know what the Reidsville Luckies is or what the league is, these are a group of young men who are spending their summer. They are collegiate baseball players coming to play in this wood bat league, and they are going to be hungry. And so
Absolutely.
they are growing boys still who need somebody to fuel them.
They absolutely do. So they're all 18 to 22, 23, 24. All, like you said, either they're heading to college. They've already committed to a college to play right out of high school. So we've got some on the younger end. Plus, we also have some, juniors and seniors who are looking to take that next step and go towards the big show. They're going to be here too. So who knows? Come out and see a game. You never know who you're going to run into. I can remember when I was, real little. We went to the Greensboro Hornets at the time, and watched a player. A lot of stuff surrounding this player. Got a baseball signed. Ends up it's Derek Jeter.
That's
so
right.
You never know who's going to be here. The next Derek Jeter could actually be in Reidsville this summer, playing with us. So super excited. One of the biggest things that I'm really excited about this year is we've partnered with Mount Jubilee Ministries. And that is, I can't express how thankful we are for them to be a part of us. They're going to come out, Cecil and his crew, they do a lot for the community. Their heroes are going to be at our games. They're going to be welcoming you to the stadium. That's going to be the first face that you see coming onto the concourse at the ticket gate. All 21 home games this year, they're going to be there. So I am really excited to have them on board, and just having them welcome the community and the public to the stadium is going to be great.
I think it is going to be phenomenal. I love those folks. They're so just happy souls.
Absolutely.
And, just such a great partnership that you have created there. We've got so many chamber members that are involved and that are supporting the Luckies. But also big kudos to the city.
Oh, yes.
For the foresight to bring this league here, to partner with ALEC and the Old North State League. But they have put quite an investment into JC Park and upgrading that field to this level for these guys.
They absolutely have, Diane. Summer, coming on board, it started with Preston. Preston was really instrumental in getting the team here and getting that going. Summer has really taken the reins and carried them through. So I've met with her a couple times. The city is really excited to be on board. Really kind of bending over backwards, you could say, to help us and make us a success.
Yeah, you've got
summer.
A bunch of city council support behind
Absolutely.
you.
We've got, one city council member, he's hosting a player. For those of you that don't know, like I said, these players come from out of town. We have to give them somewhere to live. And so it's great to have one of our city councilmen on board as one of these host families. Not only does that player get to go play every day, but I'm sure we'll hear, the good and bad and ins and outs of the city as well, whether they want to or not. And so that's really good, and it's very instrumental. Our host families in the past, everyone that has been a past host family has come back this year. We're still looking for a couple more, but it's the relationship that they have built over the short summer period. These guys are coming in. They'll be here about the middle of May, and they'll be in Reidsville until the end of July. And so every host family that I've talked to that has hosted a player previously, they still keep in touch with them. Some from 2 years ago, they're still in touch. And with technology these days, it's a virtual pen pal. One family, they've got some high school baseball kids, and for them, it's like, hey, it's phenomenal to bring a collegiate player into my home and let them live for the summer, because they get to express so much to my children, and my children look up to them, and they still keep in contact. After the games, they still talk. These players are, states away, and they're still instrumental in a young person's life. So, whether you're we've got, like I said, city council that lives alone hosting players, and we've got families of 3 or 4 that are hosting players, and each one takes a little something different out of it.
Yeah, I think so. And this show will be seen for months to come. So let's talk about things that that will matter in a couple of months from now. Let's talk about details. Let's talk about, so we mentioned JC Park. So home park, home games are at JC Park. Tell us when, how much, how to buy tickets, where to find them, all that good stuff.
So we have 21 games slated for this summer at JC Park. There's 4 games on Thursdays, 1 game on a Friday, 8s on Saturdays, and 8s are on Sundays. Games start at 5 o'clock. We moved times this year to try to accommodate the community and make it a more family-friendly atmosphere. Tickets, you can go on our website. It's reidsvillelluckies.com. We're using an e-tix system now where it's streamlined. You can buy your tickets beforehand, use the whole mobile ticketing thing. There's no more, you can still buy tickets at the gate, obviously, but we're streamlining it and using technology to our advantage. So tickets are $8, $4 for kids under 12, I believe. But it's going to be a great time. We're working on, we've built theme nights. Let's talk about that. Let's break them down. We've got a theme for about every game so far, and we're still working on more. The first being Reidsville Chamber of Commerce night. So opening day, May the 20th, 5 o'clock. First pitch, I think Jessie, the Chamber board chair. She's going to throw out the first pitch, so we're really excited about that. But I want to get the community involved. So night 1, Chamber night, we're asking all of our chamber businesses, chamber members, if you will, to come out, set up a table, show the community who you are, what you sell, what you do. We're giving you the platform to put your brand out there. And so hopefully not only does that gain you more customers, but it also provides, entertainment for the people that may get bored with some baseball. You and I are not going to get bored with baseball, but occasionally, after about the 3rd inning, they want to get up and walk around and let them see something different while they're at the park. So, that's the first one. The very next day, the 21st, is superhero night. So we're going to build a whole theme around kids coming out. Wear your Spider-Man costume. Wear your Batman costume. We'll put you on the field. We'll do some stuff in between innings, and just make it a great experience. Not only for the kids but for the adults as well. So
tell us this. You've got, I think you said, Cancer Survivor Night, Teacher Appreciation Night. Tell us about some of the other themes.
First Responder Night. That's really big. As you know, my previous background was in first responder. And, I have a high regard for all those first responders here. And with Reidsville being mostly rural, we rely a lot on our volunteer firefighters. So we want to give them the same platform that our paid people get, because they're doing it 100% for free. It's their gas out of their pocket. It's their time away from their family, and they're not receiving a dollar of it. So we want to put them on a platform. One of the bigger things is and I can't say it, it's the 150th Reidsville
Sesquicentennial.
That thing.
I can say that.
It's one of those. So the city come on board and with the great idea, let's build a whole night. So it's going to be a Friday. Can't remember the date off the top of my head, but the 150th Reidsville celebration is going to be at JC Park. So all the city employees are going to be able to come out. It's going to be like an employee appreciation for the city. Super excited about that, because there again, the city is heavily involved with JC, and we want to give back to them as much as we can.
And I think you guys have a partnership on the fireworks night.
We do. So July the 1st, the city of Reidsville is doing their annual fireworks at Lake Reidsville.
Yep.
We also have a game that night. So come to the game. The city has agreed that if you come to the game, watch the game, you're going to be a little bit later getting to the park, but show your ticket when you get to the park, or the lake, I should say, and we have VIP parking blocked off for you, so you're not going to have to walk half a mile, to the vendors and to the everything going on at the lake that night, we're going to have you a VIP parking spot pretty close to if you would have got there at noon that day.
Yeah. So truly, you're not really going to miss out. And you'll get in a great baseball game and get to go watch the fireworks.
Absolutely.
Which is phenomenal. Speaking of that, where else in Rockingham County can you go watch a collegiate level wood bat baseball game, eat a hot dog, drink a beer?
Yeah.
For
absolutely.
$8.
You can't.
You can't.
And still be home by 9.
And still be home by 9.
Absolutely.
I mean, it blows my mind that people haven't known that we're going into our 3rd year. I'll take as much responsibility. I mean, we've talked about the Luckies, but I'm just so excited about it this year. Like, I'm telling everybody I meet. And it's just, I think you've got such a great season planned. You can't not know about what's going on. But we hear all the time, I didn't know.
Right.
So tell people, how are they going to know about your themes? How do they find a schedule? Where do they go? Like, how do they, oh, that first responder, I really want to do that. How do I know about that? So tell us how we're going to know about that.
So we're putting it on our website. It's going to be, it's ReidsvilleLuckies.com. Follow us on Facebook as well. Most of our updates will come, social media, Facebook. I'm not much on Twitter. Chenzo, our coach, he's the Twitter guy. So we're going to be asking him to put a lot on Twitter as well. I think it's at Reidsville Luckies, I believe.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm too old for Twitter. But so Facebook for sure. We'll also be sharing stuff to you for the chamber.
For sure.
I think the chamber will be sharing it as well. But
we'll also have all your
out.
stuff. This is a great time for me to plug this. We'll have all your stuff on our community calendar. So if you're not familiar with the community calendar, go to the reidsvillechamber.org, click on the events tab, and click on community calendar. We have this fabulous plug-in that we are connected regionally to all the CVBs, all the chambers, the County Economic Development Office from Martinsville, Danville, Winston, and we show from this address 30 miles wide all the events and things. Now we pare it down. We don't compete, like we don't let breweries from Virginia compete with our brewery here in our backyard, but we do promote the Martinsville race because that's a big weekend that a lot of people travel here. But we will have all the Luckies games on there. And it's a really great place to go see, trick-or-treats and Easter egg hunts and cookies with Santa and all that doesn't clog up the chamber event calendar. And so that's a really great place to find not only Luckies, but to find everything else. The other thing is we are hoping to text out game schedules and that sort of thing. So if you haven't joined the community text list, text the word Reidsville to the short code 76626 and then reply yes, and you can get text messages about cool things like this that are happening in the community.
Absolutely. So with that too, with our scheduling, we've got some really great sponsors for our schedules. For the Love Builders, Clint Franklin. He's very involved in the Wentworth program, as are you and I. Morris Heating and Air, they're on board. Reed's Computer Sales, Used Power Sports, they're on our magnets. So Eden Combs, she's been very instrumental, very supportive of the baseball, and the Luckies as well. Not only do her kids play, she's making a name for herself absolutely as a realtor here at one of the premier realtors in Reidsville. So we're getting out some pocket schedules. They should be here in the next couple of weeks. Look for them. They're going to be popping up, restaurants, convenience stores, businesses all around. So be able to pick up a pocket schedule or a magnet for your refrigerator, and all of our games will be on there,
Yes.
Whether they're local or away.
Yeah, and we'll have them here in the visitor center as well, along with the 150 sesquicentennial calendar for the city. So this is your place to stop and get information. But the really cool thing about what Justin just said is that the other games, and so other games, some of them are as close as High Point. So tell us where some of the closer teams that you play are and how people can find out about that.
High Point's going to be one of the closest. We've got some in a couple teams, or one team in Clayton. Goldsboro is another one. If you're looking to pair baseball and golf, Pinehurst, Sand Hills, that's a really good little facility down that way. Catch a game on a Friday night and then play golf on Saturday. Come back and then watch the Luckies on Sunday.
There you go.
You know, you can very, very well pack your weekend. There's 16 teams across the state of North Carolina, ranging everywhere from Hendersonville to Elizabeth City. So no matter where you are in North Carolina, whether it be the mountains or the coast, there's an Old North State League team close by. And the Luckies will travel to most of them and play. So, you know, our brand, Reidsville Luckies, it's going statewide. And so we're looking to add some more teams, hopefully next year, fingers crossed, and just expand this league to where these guys, not only do they get a great experience in the summer, but they're going to get a great experience in the summer across the entire state of North Carolina.
That's awesome. So, and we can circle back and talk about at the end contact info and that sort of thing. One of the things that you mentioned was, you mentioned Eden's kids playing, and you mentioned our kids and our involvement, and I know there's a Wentworth night that is going to happen at the Luckies. And we've also partnered in Wentworth with the city and working with Summer and working with Quentin and trying to expand our league. But you and I are involved as one of our other hats that we wear as directors in the Wentworth baseball and softball program. So let's talk a little bit about that and how that ties as a feeder and into the involvement that brings us all the way to this collegiate wood bat league.
So that is a great starter program. Wentworth, this year, we're very fortunately or unfortunately for you and I.
Right.
But Wentworth this year is the biggest program in Rockingham County as far as youth sports, baseball, or ball sports go. We have kids that are 4 years old playing T-ball, all the way up to 14 years old in Wentworth. What do we have, 400 this year, greater than?
Yeah, I've got 11 softball teams, 6U and up to 14U, and you've got T-ball.
T-ball and baseball, there's 23.
Yeah.
23 teams. So the good part about it is right here in Rockingham County, just minutes away in Wentworth, tying it to the city, we're seeing kids the ages from 3 all the way to the college level. So that is a vast age difference in kids, from 3 to 23, and they're all different levels. But where else can you go close by? Like you said, you can be watching your 3-year-old grandson play on Saturday at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then you can watch a 23-year-old collegiate player from NC State, if you will, playing that afternoon at 5 o'clock.
Yeah. It's just so funny how all that stuff works, how the baseball, softball world works, how the small town thing works. I have literally been standing in one spot at Wentworth and had one of my children on the T-ball field at the time, one of my girls playing with her team on the softball field, and then one of my other children playing up with her sister. So I had all 3 kids on the field at the same time, watching the games. And then my child's involved with a travel organization, which we've been very fortunate. We are a neighborhood team. We are not with one of the large organizations. As a matter of fact, I say organization, but we're down to being the last team in this local Rockingham County organization. But it's so funny because the head coach of that team for my daughter, his oldest is one of your guys that's going to be playing this summer, that's coming back from college. He's at Pfeiffer. He's coming back. He's going to play with the Luckies this summer. And it just kind of comes full circle.
It does.
We just posted on the Wentworth page yesterday a college commit for one of our little bitty tiny T-ball girls that came up through the softball program and is now going to play college softball
at A&T.
At A&T.
That's phenomenal.
It's so awesome.
And
that's not the first one we've posted this year.
And it's that hometown feel. It really is.
It so is.
As you know, my son's involved in a travel league organization as well.
That's also neighborhood and local Rockingham County.
It is. It was started by one of my best friends 6 years ago.
who's also a first responder in law enforcement.
Absolutely, absolutely. So he started 6 years ago. His son is getting to the age to where it's kind of, phasing out for him, if you will. He's moving up to the high school level. So me and a guy that I coach with, that I'm really good friends with, we decided to kind of take the reins, and we split our age groups, and we're moving forward with that. So tying it into the travel, the Reidsville Luckies just announced, or the Old North State League with the Reidsville Luckies, they just announced last week that JC and Reidsville will now be a Top Gun tournament travel site. So we're able to host these travel tournaments at JC during the day, and then we'll have the Luckies at night during the summer. So,
look at us. That was beautiful. How we just brought it all full circle, like what we've been working on for weeks and months.
Absolutely.
It's insane because Top Gun is a huge name. It's going to be such a great thing. And if you don't know what travel looks like, your team packs up and they may go do a 1 day, they may do a 2 day, they may spend the night. It may just be Ashburn, it could be Freedom Park. Now it's going to be JC Park for baseball. And what that means is those folks have to have a place to stay. They have to have somewhere to eat. They have to buy ice, and they have to buy drinks and snacks and whatever they run out of. And it's going to be phenomenal for our economy. And then here we go again, casino 20 minutes down the road, Interstate, Loves, Barn Street. Reidsville's on the cusp of growth, y'all. It's insane.
It is. It really is. And not getting outside of Reidsville, but with the casino coming to Danville, we're right in the middle of the thoroughfare.
Yep.
And good, bad, or indifferent, the travel moms and dads, they're going to come to Reidsville, and then they're going to go visit the casino.
That's right.
While the coaches are watching the kids at the pool.
That's right.
That's exactly what's going to happen. So I really think Reidsville is going to be one of the premier travel tournament destinations.
I think so, too.
Up and coming. Just for everything that's coming around us. I really do. And so, like you just alluded to, the economic impact is going to be huge.
It is going to be huge.
Because there again, for the people watching, if y'all don't know or don't understand what the travel is, it's a village. It's a traveling village that goes weekend to weekend. And, like you said, you've even been to, luckily, we have a concession stand at JC Park, but you've actually played, and your kids have played at where they don't have concessions.
That's right.
And you've told me that, every parent was responsible for something. One parent brings the grill, one parent brings the buns, one parent brings the condiments, one parent brings the hot dogs, and you just kind of come together as a big family, and you cook for the kids because you're there all day.
Yep. It's an amazing experience. So it's kind of funny how it all just comes full circle. So you and I, as we both know, we could probably talk for hours, but we are out of time. Okay. So let's just full circle, bringing it back to the Luckies, bringing it back to all the things. I think you and I both would love to just say thank you to everybody who supports youth sports, from that tiny 3 and 4 year old playing t-ball, whether it be for the city of Reidsville or for Wentworth PTA ball program, all the way up to those folks who are hosting families and supporting these guys in the collegiate league. We thank you. If you have a love of the game, you just have a love of the game, and it never leaves you.
Correct.
Just as you know, because you traveled to see my favorite baseball team just this past week. Right. So it just never leaves. So thank you to all of those companies who are supporting and sponsoring, from the banners on the fields to the pocket schedules to the jerseys. Thank you, Tri-State Steel, for stepping up for these guys. But how do people find you? Tell us the names of social media, website, all of that. Give the rundown, your name, how to find you.
So if you want to, directly to our website, it is ReidsvilleLuckies.com, Facebook, Reidsville Luckies. My email address it's easy. It's Justin@ReidsvilleLuckies.com. If you're looking to sponsor, no matter how much, how small, you want to be on a platform, we can definitely discuss it and get you out there, get your business name out there. Shoot me an email, connect with us on Facebook, go on our website, plug around, and look for the schedules. They're coming out soon.
Yep. And if all else fails, you can contact the chamber and we'll get you to where we need to be.
Absolutely.
But I will just say, some of you may have heard us talk about Old North State League. That is still parent company, you know, the driving force behind, but we're really trying to bring the Luckies here. So you may hear us interchangeably talk about both, but that league is growing leaps and bounds, and just so excited for Reidsville to be a part of it.
Absolutely.
So, thank you, Justin, for coming on the show today. Absolutely. Well, that's it for today's news and views. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, you can find us in downtown Reidsville at the intersection of Gilmer Street and South Scales at 140 South Scales. You can check us out on our social media pages under Reidsville Chamber and Reidsville Visitor Center. That's it for today. Stay tuned. See you soon.